Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Feels amazing to connect with you all in this way. It's so important for us to learn how to listen to our internal guidance, for us to be able to trust what we're feeling to be true for us, and for us to find the courage to open to something greater and to allow our personal egoic will to dissolve in this purifying, in this divine will that starts coming through. And the way we do this is we start by trusting how we feel in all moments and using that as a guide to where life, where our higher self is guiding us to go. And an example of this is if you're feeling any sort of energetic dissonance, energetic sickness, like you just feel like something, it's pretty easy to identify when it's happening in yourself, at least it is for me. One of the big feelings is like you're just like separating from yourself, you're like fragmenting, And this is when this happens mostly when you're taking actions from a state of fear or lack. And what's happening when we're waking up to the truth of who we are is we're no longer compatible for those type of decisions and that type of movement in the world anymore, or in reality. And that's the whole point of waking up, is to come into better alignment. So being in alignment is knowing, oh, this feels really good, I'm going to go here. This is exciting. This brings up passion. The simplest way to know if what you're doing is, we'll go with the right way for right now. I'm going to have the spiritual police after me, but the easiest way to know is this the most exciting thing I could be doing right now? Always just do the most exciting thing in that moment. And it can be very simple. It can be to meditate, to read a book, to call a friend, to rest, to go for a swim, to exercise, It doesn't have to be something big. It could be shoot a YouTube video, start a business, ask that person out, It could be something that requires big emotion to come up. Do something an exciting thing a lot of times is something we're really afraid to do. And that's also a beautiful thing, is to go do that thing you're really terrified to do. If something deep inside of you wants to do it, go do it. It's going to be one of the most rewarding things you can possibly imagine. So that's how we act in alignment with our highest self guidance. And when we're not doing those things that are exciting, when we're doing things because we feel like we have to, out of fear that we won't be supported, a lot of times we don't do what's exciting, what we want to do, because we feel like we won't be supported. But as I heard earlier today, and it resonated with me very deeply, all the details have already been worked out. So you can go ahead and go forth with the excitement and let go of any fears you might have about it not working out. And a lot of times when we're following our highest excitement, it's not a linear path, You can go from, it's like kind of like a zigzag. It's like following the breadcrumbs, and you can go here to here, and sometimes you might go what linearly feels like backwards, and here, and it just, and not all of our inspirations have this direct correlation with what we think success is right away either. Sometimes an inspiration leads us to a path of what you would call failure, so that we can learn more about ourselves than we would have been able to if we hadn't gone down that road and followed that inspiration. So a lot of inspirations are like indirect inspirations, they are leading you somewhere, but it can be somewhat deceiving initially. So don't lose hope and don't lose patience if at first the things you're doing that are really exciting don't exactly work out how you think they should. Because in truth, your mind only has about 5% capacity to really know what's possible for you in this lifetime. So whenever we get fixated on a certain result happening or or things manifesting in a certain way, we unintentionally actually block ourselves from something more beautiful and more broad and more expansive happening. So the best thing to do is just take the most exciting action you can take and let go of any expectations at all, and just trust that because it's exciting and it feels good and it's something you're passionate about, just trust that this is your higher self guiding you, and it's guiding you towards your highest experience and or your highest capacity to serve others would be another way that I would put it for myself. And if you're feeling energetic sickness, that's actually, a really good sign, because it's a sign that you're really tapped into your guidance system. You're becoming more conscious of what serves you and what doesn't. And so when we're taking actions that are making us feel really bad and we just know they're not our truth, and it's bringing up a lot of energetic, sickness or dissonance is what I'll call it, then that's actually a good sign, because we're becoming more conscious of what we need to let go so that we can be liberated to follow our passions and our highest excitement. And in that way we're no longer ruled by this fear-based programming that has us consistently doing things that aren't in alignment with our highest self. And there's lots of examples. I'll use one for myself. In Portland, when I was living there, love Portland, I was running out of money. And I had just started shooting these videos. I had just started my blog and writing a bunch and really following my highest excitement, really following my bliss, right? But I was running out of money. So I kept trying to go get these jobs that I didn't want to do, like old jobs that I used to do that I didn't want to do anymore, but I felt like I had to out of fear of running out of money. So I would go get these jobs, and I just the energy, I would get so sick, not nervous sick or there is that when you start new things, and that can actually be a good sign sometimes if you're a little nervous. That means you care and you want to do well. But this was different. This was just something in me was this isn't right for you. This isn't the path. This isn't the way. And I just knew it, but I was still so run by fear that I would go to the job and literally make it an hour or two and be like, hey, this literally, guys, this happened to me, I don't even, 4 or 5 times, to where I would get a job and go and be just immediately within a day or two, sometimes even sooner, I just have to be I'm really sorry, but this isn't right for me. It's not you guys, it's me. I'm going through something here. And trying to explain it to them was, in those moments, I was just honest with the people who had hired me. But trying to explain it to myself was really difficult too, because there was no clear path for me on YouTube and with my blog. And it was totally new and something I'd never done. And like I said, I was running out of money. So how was I going to be supported on this path, But sure enough, here I am still shooting YouTube videos, writing my blog. I recently started coaching, which has been so exciting for me. And it's been this huge new step for me that I just feel so overwhelmingly just grateful for. I mean, it's just, as you keep taking each step on this path, you start sinking deeper and deeper into your truth, and you start feeling that all there is support when you're on this path. You're just endlessly supported, and there's just endless abundance. And a lot of times our mind thinks it has to be a certain way to experience abundance and support. But in reality, life has it all perfectly orchestrated for you. And I had this analogy come into my head earlier today. If you were to take the most magnificent, euphoric, amazing life you could possibly imagine for yourself, all the abundance, connections, all anything you could imagine, and then you just dropped yourself into that right now, to that life, truthfully, would you really be ready for that? you know, and would that be something you actually want in this moment? Because all of those amazing things you can imagine, like a beautiful home, a beautiful partner who is just a beautiful reflection of you, amazing connections, a thriving, just to take my own example for what I see coming to fruition, a thriving, spiritual practice where you're helping a lot of people. You live in this perfect location, you have very nice surroundings, and on and on and on. You could take everything you can imagine, and that's going to manifest for you. That's happening as we speak, but it's happening at the pace that's perfect for you. And as I look around at my life right now, I'm realizing, oh, this is actually the perfect reflection for my state of being right now. And this is, life is providing me exactly what I need in this moment, and what I actually on a deeper level really want in this moment. And of course, that will only continue to expand as I go deeper inward and experience more about the truth of who I am and what I came here to do and how I can serve at my highest capacity. As I start to do those things, of course, my outer life experience will reflect that. And that's the same for all of you watching. The real joy in this isn't to like try to just get to over there. It's the journey. The destination's only an excuse for the journey. It's not the manifestations that we so covet, really. It's the manifesting that's beautiful. It's not the creations, it's the creating. That's the juice of life. So it's really just to savor this now moment and to know that the more you choose to be where you are, the less you start thinking about where you need to be, and all those feelings and higher emotions that you think are over there, they start to show up here, right where you are when you fully arrive. So instead of trying to use the law of attraction and everything to change your reality, transform your reality by choosing to be where you are as if you created it. Because you did. Because where you are right now is serving you. It's serving you in the highest way possible. And when you start realizing that and sinking into where you are without any resistance, and you just relax all expectations, and you just let go of desiring something different, you just start relaxing and seeing what life brings you. And then what you realize is life is bringing you inspiration, it's bringing you creativity, and it's bringing you ideas. And all you have to do is just let those flow through and express those with fearlessness, utter fearlessness. And that comes with truly learning who you are. Because when you learn who you are, you realize you are just a manifestation of Source. You are Source energy. You are God. So really, there's everything you ever needed. It's already within. The highest form of love is the love you receive from your higher self. And you receive that love by listening to your higher self's guidance, and by doing what's exciting for you, and by trusting that you will be supported by doing that. And then it's a self-containing kit. You just keep doing that. When you do what's most exciting to you in this moment, and it exhausts itself, you just do the next most exciting thing, and the next, and the next, and you just never get off of that cycle. It's that easy. Now, your mind's going to tell you a bunch of things about it, how it's not easy when you're doing it, and worry and fear will creep in, these old programs. But that's why following your highest excitement is so beautiful, because it brings all of those programs and fears up to the surface for you to see and let go of. That way you can keep moving on to the next most exciting thing. And what I've noticed is the next most exciting thing is always a little bit scarier. And so it's like, oh, it's a little scary. So it brings up a little bit more of that fear programming to be dealt with and to let go of. Recently, I've started coaching. So just like when I first started my blog, it brought up fears about that. Oh, what's everyone going to think? My family, I'd never put myself out there in a real way. And I worked through those fears and let them go. And then I started my YouTube channel, same thing, worked through the fears there, let them go so that I can be more expansive and serve and help more people. And recently, when I just started coaching, same type of deal. More fears come up, more of the old programming, more of the old density, which is beautiful. When you know that those fears are coming up so that you can be liberated from them and so that you can serve from a deeper place of truth, it's a beautiful process. So these last few days, I've been letting go of those fears. And then as my coaching practice deepens, one day, who knows what the next thing will be. I try not to get too ahead of myself, but it could be retreats, workshops, probably more like public speaking. It'll just keep bringing up more and more fears, and that's why this process is so beautiful and liberating. It's fun, there's passion, there's love, there's expansion, and there's also working through the shadow and your unconsciousness. So it's a beautiful way to live and go through life, and it really just takes cultivating trust and learning to, at all times and all moments, trust your inner guidance, for that is the way. So thank you guys for watching. I really love each and every one of you, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful night. Namaste.